New World sucks. It's a terrible game. This is something that's going around constantly about why New World sucks and how much people hate it. And today I'm going to be talking about why that is the case. Why are people constantly leaving these toxic, negative remarks about New World? Does it actually suck? Is it a terrible game? Or is it something else? Let's check it out. Before we get into the video, you guys already know, like, comment, subscribe. Those are free ways that you can totally help me out when I'm trying to grow this channel back up. It really does help a lot. So if you're listening to this, please do just drop a like, leave a comment if you want, and subscribe. Thank you. All right. So 2 things to think about before we really dive into, and just a warning, this is going to be a lot of numbers thrown at you, and I'm going to try my best to help you follow along, but you might have to watch this a couple times. Also, this gameplay that you're seeing, it's not actually mine. I just found it on YouTube. It's about a year old, so I don't want you guys thinking that this is like new video or anything like that. I just needed something that was long enough to put over my video. So shout out to WCCF Tech TV. I'm going to put the link in their YouTube below because I kind of just grabbed all this video from them. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. Anyway, two things to think about. One is that a unhappy customer, anyone who has a negative experience, tells an average of 10 to 15 and sometimes even 20 people about their negative experience. This is a commonly known thing in sales. If you have a negative experience, that person is more than likely going to tell someone about it. And oftentimes they tell a lot of people about it. Also, about 30 to 40% of angry customers or people who have had that negative experience leave a negative review. So not only are they telling their friends about it, they are going out of their way to post on the internet about it, right? On the reverse, a happy customer typically tells about 3 people about their experience. And this is based upon research. This isn't just numbers thrown out. You can look it up. So 3 people, they're going to tell 3 people. I had a great time at Disney. I'm going to tell 3 people about my Disney experience. And there's a 10% chance that I post any kind of positive review. Okay, so with those 2 ideas in mind, let's take a look at New World. We're going to make some assumptions as far as numbers go, and these are, in my opinion, educated guesses. So we're going to say that New World has had, across first alpha and second alpha, about 5,000. Actually, you know what? We'll go with 10,000. We'll say that they've had 10,000 people play their video game, which I don't think is the case. I think it's significantly lower, but I do think that this is going to be easier for the math. Okay, so 10,000 people. We're going to assume that they evenly distributed the invites. So first alpha had 5,000, second alpha had 5,000. And we're going to assume that due to the nature of the game, people who tend towards PvP were the majority. Because when New World first came out, it was a heavily advertised PvP game. Okay, so of that 5,000 people who were in the first alpha, we're going to assume that 4,000 of them were these PvPers who were naturally drawn to the game. And of course, there's always going to be some PvEers who really PvE-focused people who are going to be drawn towards this type of game as well, because there are PvE elements. Back in the first alpha, there was things where you can build a village and things like that. So we're going to assume 1,000 of them. So in total, you have 4,000 PvPers and 1,000 PvEers. Time goes by, the PvEers get totally owned because it's open world PvP, where if you die, you lose everything in your inventory, and if you're a PvPer and you're flagged and you die, you lose everything on you, right? So hardcore PvP, a lot of the PvEers are not going to like that. We're going to assume that they're going to leave the game and they've had a negative experience, right? However, there's 4,000 people who have had a positive experience. And so, of that 4,000, think about it, they're telling an average of 3 people about their experience, and maybe 400 of those people are leaving a positive review. However, there's still 1,000 PvEers who left and they had a negative experience. Now we have 1,000 times 10 to 15, sometimes 20. Think about that. That's a lot of people who are being told about this game and how awful it is because they didn't have a good experience. And then you also have to keep in mind there's 30 to 40% of them who are going to leave a negative review. So now we're at the same amount, so maybe a little bit less people. So it's kind of split 50-50. The game takes a switch or shift, and now it's no longer a massive PvP, hardcore PvP game, and it gears more towards PvE players. You guys already see where I'm going with this, and the numbers are not going to lie. But we have more people who join. We have another 5,000 injected into this game, and we're going to assume that it's very evenly split, very similar at least. Because of this shift in style, we've now the PvPers are going to be like, man, this game's not as fun. They've changed everything. I'm really upset. A negative experience. And so we're going to assume, let's say, 3,000 of them leave. And so now, of the original 4,000, only 1,000 remain of the PvPers. And those 3,000 had a negative experience. However, we have a new party, a new amount of people who have come in. I do think that it's primarily PvPers who didn't know that there was going to be a huge shift in this gameplay. So I'm going to say a majority of them were PvPers. We're going to say the same exact split, 4,000, 1,000. So 4,000 PvPers have been added in. 3,000 had already left. And now 4,000 are experiencing this game that they thought was something totally different. We're going to assume, again, about 3,000 of them leave. So now we're up to 6,000 PvPers who have left, and they're upset. And the PvEers, we had 1,000 of them. So 7,000 people out of the original 10,000 have not enjoyed the game or had some kind of negative experience. And 3,000 of them have, kind of enjoyed the game. These are obviously not completely accurate, but it tells a story. So let's take those final numbers in mind. So you have 7,000 people, unhappy people. Times that by 10 or 20, or you could say 15. I'm going to say 10. So now that's 70,000 people that have been told about this game in a negative light, or this game has been explained in a negative light. And 30 to 40% of that 7,000 have left some kind of negative review, and you can see it all over the internet. There's people who are talking about how terrible this game is, how not fun it is, right? But there's still that other minority, that 3,000 amount of people who are telling 9,000, definitely not 70,000. It's, significantly less. So you have 3,000 people talking about this game, and it's kind of good. They enjoy it, and they've told some of their friends. 3,000, 10% of 3,000 is 300 people. 300 people are leaving positive reviews compared to the 30 to 40% of 7,000, which is like 2,100 or 2,800, something like that. That's a huge difference. It starts, when you think about it in this light, it starts to make sense why there's a lot of people who have been complaining. And this video, is not meant to say that the game is going to be amazing or anything like that. It's mostly to break it down in a somewhat logical way. Again, I'm not a statistician. I don't claim to be one, but I'm just thinking about it in terms of what makes sense. Why are there people who can say this game is so much fun and looks so much fun and is great and has a huge amount of potential, and then there's the total polar opposite who are saying like this game changed, it's awful now, blah blah blah, and there's so much more vocal. And I think this is why. Anyway, if you guys thought this video was interesting, please do leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. I appreciate you guys. I don't want to drag this on any longer. So you guys have a great rest of your night. Let me know in the comments below. Do you guys think that this game's going to be good? Do you think it's going to suck? Do you think it maybe it's a little bit of both. Let me know. Peace.